It's 6 a.m. dawn on the 3rd of May 1986. The sky has a red glow to it as work on the erection of the Strathpine Kingdom Hall begins. By tomorrow afternoon, a beautiful, neat, clean and tidy Kingdom Hall will stand where now all we see is what appears to be a massive mess of rather waterlogged building materials. In actual fact, it is a very highly organized and planned mess. Some of the wall frames were prefabricated here on site over the last few weeks, and now we see them springing into position in a highly organized way. A public address system was installed to facilitate communications around the site. And video cameras rolled to record the event. Over today and tomorrow, we will witness the culmination of months of planning and weeks of preparation work. Brothers have come from as far away as Longreach, Gladstone, Rockhampton, Inverell and Geelong, just to mention a few areas. And whilst the carpenters erect the wall frames, the brickies are busy preparing to lay the bricks. There's mortar to be mixed and thousands of bricks to be placed at hand. And there's thousands of nails to be hammered into frames. And hopefully not too many bruised fingers. Whilst work is proceeding on the building itself, another group of brothers and sisters are working on the landscaping. This hole is being dug for a large palm tree, which we see here. At the moment, it's being held upright by this very large crane. At this stage, it is vitally important that all the frames are square, because these act as a guideline for the brickies on the outside and plasterers on the inside, not to mention the tilers, carpet layers, etc. A team of electricians were also on hand to install the cabling as the building grew. The roof trusses were assembled on site by a team of carpenters working at the rear of the building in what was to become the car park. Those with a thirst, there was plenty of nice, icy cold cordial. As the roof truss sections were completed, they were lifted into place by the crane with the help of these frames. whilst completed sections were lifted by the crane power, individual frames were lifted by literal manpower.
Anyone knows the whereabouts of Alf Drury, would they kindly ask him to report to the administration caravan? Anyone knowing where Alf Drury is, ask him to report to the administration caravan.
Well, as we see, the carpenters are being very busy at the back, and at the same time the bricklayers have not been idle either. The mixers are working flat out as the mortar is being made just right, not too wet, not too dry, and throughout the day many a barrow load will be wheeled to brickies to ensure their trowels don't stop. And we see here already the bricklaying is well underway on the front wall. The crane is a very necessary part of the project, as we see the first of the roof trusses being lifted into position. It also highlights the importance of the wall frames being all square and plumb. Rain over a period leading up to the erection day left a legacy of very wet ground underfoot. However, the landscaping brothers were at work early, attempting to drain some of the water from the site. Work began at 6 a.m. sharp, and now with the time at 10 minutes to 8, the hall is really beginning to take shape. As the bricklayers finished a section, other brothers and sisters were there to clean up. Meanwhile, the painters were also hard at work, moving along at a great rate of knots. Work on planting the palm tree was stopped while the crane put the roof trusses on, but eventually came back and placed the tree smoothly in the hole. The gentleman across the street was so impressed, he got on the roof of his house to take some pictures. Well, while the brothers and sisters were busy working on the hall, the children were being cared for in the children's playground. Many types of amusements were organised for the children.
Which one's your head? I haven't never touched it, I don't think.
Yep, I'll make him something here.
I'm going to make a little piggy.
And we'll make it right.
Oh, piggy! Could, I knew I could. I had on all of you. I knew I could. I knew I could. I knew I could. I'm off the button, you such a third little brat. Doing this the deck where all the other trains say, hooray for little Toot! Hooray for little Toot! He was able to do it. Big Toot was broken. So there you are.
So whilst the children are being happy and amused in the playground, the mums and dads are still all happily working flat out on site. Even the speakers have been placed in the ceiling tiles, all ready to be hooked up. Yes, there were jobs for everyone. Well, it's now 11:30. 5.5 hours of work put in, and look at that rear brick wall. It's really growing. And look at the internal walls. The plasterers are really getting that gyprock up. Yes, the Strathpine Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses is really beginning to take shape. During just the past 2 years, over 40 new Kingdom Halls have been built in 6 states, and some existing Kingdom Halls have been remodeled so as to provide additional seating. Over 200 new Kingdom Halls are scheduled to be built in the near future. This important work is being accomplished through the united efforts of integrity-keeping witnesses throughout the land. Outsiders have taken note of the organisational unity demonstrated by Jehovah's people as they work together on their Kingdom Halls. Six new congregations were formed in Australia during the 1985 service year. This means that more Kingdom Halls are needed for these new congregations. Additionally, there are still over 100 congregations that meet in Kingdom Halls that are shared by 3 or more congregations. Even though the brothers are displaying a loving, cooperative attitude as halls are used efficiently in these circumstances, it will be a fine thing when additional facilities are provided. As we look around the job site, it's very noticeable how tidy and clean it is. Here we see a brother sweeping the floor amid the plasterers, and yet another picking up offcuts or any scraps and removing it from the work area, keeping the work area cleaner and safer. Yes, roofing sheets. It won't be long before they go up and the sisters give them a last-minute cleanup. Note the next public address announcement.
We are half an hour ahead of schedule at the moment. So it's half an hour ahead of schedule. Lunch is now ready, but we asked all of those brothers to let the ones working on the hall have their meals first. That way they won't have to stand